Speaking of Westport, you might catch a glimpse or two of it and several other familiar places in this week's Arts Upload poem, courtesy of Jose Faust.
It's called This Town Like That, filmed and produced as always by Justin Bond.
This town like that. Sometimes this town reeks like lilacs, forsythias, redbuds, tulips, roses, and irises, wet and green to the gills. Tomatoes, potatoes, melons, squashes, finches, jays, purple martins, bluebirds, cardinals, hummingbirds, robins, meadowlarks, buntings, sparrows, doves, crows, titmice, and bats. Summer dresses, short skirts, tights, wraps, shorts, bare chests, long walks, cramped promenades, sipped coffees, iced drinks, park lunches, weekend retreats and stolen kisses, shades, cars, laughs, curses, grins, porches, grills, meat smoked, drinks mixed until drunk, high, shy, wild and sly, wings, enticements and lies. Love, hate, family meals, indigestion, graduations, songs, rituals, burps, farts, and kisses. Girls, boys holding hands, dates, dancing, singing, shouting, curses, soothing embraces, forgiveness over and over again. Sometimes this town is like yards, crests, hills, and overlooked bluffs, pigs, horses, cows, and ruts, paddies, pastures, fields, punched holes, curses, remorse, bonfires, raging across floodplains, torches, air, gray, smoke, sulphurous, dimmed orange flakes, cracked haze hung horizons, no lights, no candles, welcome to the gates of hell. This town like nothing I know, nothing to know. This town like arms crossed behind east backsides. This town infectious, viral, addicting, narcotic, waiting to pounce. Water, dirt, gravel, asphalt, cement, ribbons, long stretches of strangers, bricks, mortar, glass, wood veneers, expand, flow, roam to mold yards, always trains and lullaby trails, a pinch of hair hung in midair. I don't want this town be the last thing I see. This town is like sleet, snow, dust, ice storms, drizzle, rain, floods, hail, tornadoes, thunder and lightning, wind, sun, drought, and fires. This town lingers like promises, wings, knots, taunts, arguments, and refrains. Greeks, palms, hucksters, and chamber religious ordained, flags waving, hymns swaying, exploding peonies, chrysanthemums, willows, diadems, palms, croquettes, horsetail rings, cherry bombs, Roman candles, and cake. Low wages, bodies spent, bus fares, one-way transfers, districts, enclaves, and jails, dog parks, locked fences, brats with wallets, urban pioneers, grafters, and shills. This town like that sometimes. This town like any town most times. This town like a burr up my ass, like a bad dream, like tripping, hallucinogenic. This town shimmers like a star on a hill. I might not leave this town. This town may have left me. This town might be the death of me. This town plays me like that sometimes.